Hi all. I hope you've had a nice lunch and a cup of tea and coffee. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this. Hi, yeah, my name is Alex Monroe. I'm very proud to be a nurse and actually an advanced practitioner as well by background, having studied my postgrad diploma in sunny Sheffield many years ago now. But the reason I'm here and Hallam Medical are here is because very proudly we support AAPE UK, and I must congratulate the team at AAPE for this conference today. I know the amount of hard work that has gone on behind the scenes and the sheer volume of planning that they've all done as a team. It's a privilege to be here, quite frankly. A big well done. Thank you very much. However, what is Hallam Medical? I hear people say. I know many of you will never have heard of us, so it's a good reason to come and announce ourselves to you. Really, we are an agency. Hallam Medical is an agency. As I say, I'm an AP by background, but as you all know, advanced practice and the roles for advanced practice are just threaded throughout the NHS workforce plan, which is really exciting for every single discipline, I think. And we know that the universities are getting bombarded with course requests as services try and develop and encourage their advanced practice routes, really. But Hallam ourselves, we currently really concentrate on urgent care, primary care, community care, and those those services that need that advanced practitioner. And to be honest, that is normally of a nurse background, a paramedic background, or growingly, if that's a word, increasingly is the role of the advanced clinical pharmacists as well within these services. Something else that's developing is the one-on-one pathways service that we all know and love, I'm sure, but very complementary to the GPs, to the pharmacists as well, are the advanced practitioners working within those services. As you can see on the right hand side, these are the types of job titles that we support and provide, and it's something that we are very proud to do. But we're simply very knowledgeable about this. We support all 4 of the UK countries across these services, and clearly I'm very excited to learn about the international links. Australia sounds a perfect place to go. America, Kenya, Namibia. I could do any of those. So I would very happily come along. Some of my ex-clinical colleagues thought that Hallam would absolutely fly, and any agency would fly through the pandemic. And I've purposely put this slide on because actually it's absolutely not the case at all. Everybody was affected by the pandemic, and certainly as a business, we were affected by the business by the pandemic. The reality that we were going to fly is very different. Clinicians were affected. Personally, they also suffered the COVID. Services closed. Footfall of patients just reduced. Overnight. Many of you will be very aware of this yourselves, of course, because you work within them likewise. But interesting, lots of people took time just to take stock, and I think that the pandemic gave them a reason to, I don't know, work with their children, stay at home, just take a gap and just look after themselves. But something that was really interesting and I think very testament to the advanced practitioners who are training is that actually they maintained their studies, their university studies throughout the pandemic, and they didn't stop. I'm sure the AAPE members and the lecturers amongst you, I hope you'd see the same thing. But the fact that didn't stop, that education didn't stop, something that we're very acutely aware of, I think that's very testament to the individual's personal values and drive, a bit like what Kim was just talking about on the previous speaker. Now, however, things do seem to have changed a little bit. We seem to have a bit of a change in mentality, perhaps, to locum work, to agency work for individuals. We're noticing that in the age group of 25 to 34, we're having more people apply who want to come and join the agency work, and and there's definitely more females applying across all age ranges. I'm a more mature person. I'm touching 50, and my perception was that there'd be more 40 plus year olds wanting to join us, but it's the lower age range of the 25 to 34 year olds, and I just thought that was interesting. Similarly, I think the pandemic has given people a I don't know, just to relook at themselves and what's important, and do they want that flexibility of work, the potential earning power as well, or additional earning power, getting that work-life balance. Similarly, at that high level that everybody's at when you're an AAPE, or certainly a service manager or a service provider, actually, it can be quite stressful. And clinicians just want something. They want to try something different, try something new. Maybe still within their competency, but just not in their day-to-day environment. Advanced practice itself and the growing ACP qualification is definitely making a real positive difference. It's very straightforward and relatively simple to understand the education, the competence, and the quality of the individual. Although something that is very apparent after a discussion that we held a conference a couple of weeks ago, was that senior clinicians and to be fair, probably the majority of nurses in particular, we do undersell ourselves a lot. And although we may read a lot of CVs, we don't actually, there's a good proportion of people that have never written a CV. So if any of you are thinking of changing jobs or doing something different, or want to try something, don't undersell yourself. Actually writing a CV is very, very important, as we know. But I think it's potentially a case of do as I say, not as I do scenario, and but don't forget the power of a CV. For the services that we provide support to, we are trusted to give that quality, that competent individual. We can flex up and down with the type of staff that the services need, certainly within the advanced practice. But we have some seriously good expertise amongst our locum staff, and we're very proud to be able to support services that are, I don't know, maybe just starting out. They're just implementing a new service. They are wanting to trial a new skill set. For instance, we actually had GP surgery wanting some advanced clinical pharmacists. You'd think mainly that this is the norm, but it's not the norm. Actually, AMPs, advanced practitioners within general practice, is not the norm everywhere. It might be in your area, but it's just not the case everywhere. So there are services who they want to try something. They want to do something a bit different, and maybe and get onto the way that the service is developing, and that they are being brave. But that's what we do, and we're very, very good set to supply trusted, good quality individuals. So if any of you are thinking of wanting to come and join or try agency, come to somebody you can trust. You can see where I'm going with this. Please come and join Hallam Medical, and it'd be a privilege to take you all in, really. That's it, if I'm honest. I do just want to say thank you again for letting me speak to all of you, and to those of you who've done the poster presentations, really well done. They look brilliant. So I know you've all put a lot of hard work into that. Have a really nice rest of the day. Thank you again to Anna, Kathy, Deb, Colette, the whole AAPE team. It's been a fantastic day, and I hope the rest of you have a really nice afternoon listening to the other speakers as well. I gather Alice is looking forward to it particularly. Thank you very much. Goodbye.